YouTube, it's your boy Sean Matrai here with post-ban list Odd Eyes Orcust. Now, this deck is very strong post the ban list. It's still, in my opinion, the best deck in the meta. It's just very powerful at doing what it does. Basically, what you aim to do is now, instead of summoning Scrap, you're going to go into Beatrice. I'm going to teach you exactly how to do this. The deck list is basically the same. I'm not going to go too in depth about the deck list because it's pretty much the exact same deck list here. So, I will go over slightly the new changes. So basically now, you play Beatrice in the deck, and you're going to make it with Oath Dragon, and that's going to be the fastest way. I do not play Orchestrated Return in here. We're also running Summoner's Art in replacement for the third pen call because it's limited 3. And yeah, enjoy the, I'm going to go for some combos first, and then I will show you some replays. Okay? I will go over the combos, and then I will teach you some replays. So, stay calm. I'm going to help you out. If you don't know the Orcust lines, I'm here to help. Alright? So, let's go to rewards times 3. Alright, so this line, we have Wisdom Eye in hand. Now, optimally, you want to play 3 Wisdom Eye, because 3 Wisdom Eye is generally the way to go. Now, this is a weird hand, because we actually ended up drawing the Taco Crusader. So it becomes a little bit awkward when you want to draw, when you do your Beatrice line, and you draw into this, and then you really have nothing to send. But in a case where we have Taco Crusader in hand, you can end on Giant Hand and detach and turn it into a Book of Moon as well. But I'm going to show you what we're going to do. This hand we're not going to make Beatrice anyway, because we don't have an additional Oak Dragon in hand. We just have the combo. So pretend we're going turn 1. I'm going to show you the setup. So we're going to first scale Wisdom Eye and scale Oak. Always prefer to have Oath scaled, but it is very possible to do this without having Oath scaled. Now we're going to sack Wisdom Eye and play Dragon Pit. If you're going second and you're afraid they have Cosmic, now let's say you're going second, right? If you're going second and you're afraid they have Cosmic Cyclone, a play that you could do is you could scale your Wisdom Eye and then skill immediately. Once you have Wisdom Eye and Oath scaled, you skill immediately, and then you can pen summon 4 if you think they have a Cosmic set. And you'll know instantly because sometimes you'll know instantly because you won't have a monster. Let's say that they have a monster set, right? And you have a bricked Orcust, and they have like a set monster, and they have a delay right when you scale. Well, then you know that it's a pretty good chance that it's Cosmic, because in that case, they're not going to have a live book because they don't have a face-up monster. And they're not going to have a live chalice because they don't have a face-up monster. So at that point, you're going to know it's Cosmic, and then you can play around that. And then pen summon for 4, and then they cannot Cosmic you. Anyway, alright. So we scaled our Dragon Pick, and we scaled our Oath. Now we're going to go ahead and activate our skill, Raging Pendulum. And into the extra deck, in this case, we're going to put our Odd Eyes. And in this case, you could add an additional Time Breaker. We already have a Taco Crusader in hand. We don't need another level 4. We can add Time Breaker back to follow-up. It's also possible, if you really wanted to, you could also put Wisdom Eye in there. Because Wisdom Eye is a follow-up. If they would have Cosmic one of your scales, you can scale anything. But in this case, we're going to put Wisdom Eye in the extra deck. And we're going to activate, and we're going to add back, not Wisdom Eye, we're going to put back Time Breaker in the extra deck, and then we're going to add Time Breaker back to our hand for follow-up. Now we are going to pen summon for 4. We're going to summon our Odd Eyes. We are going to summon our Skelly, our Harpar, and our Silverclaw. Now keep in mind, we have not normal summoned yet. And that's very important, because in the majority of situations that you're in, you'd rather not normal summon Joker, which is actually crazy, which you would think you would want to, but in this case, you'd rather not normal summon Joker, in this particular case. Okay? So that's something you're going to want to focus on and do. Okay. So we're going to want to pen summon the Tackle Crusader, not the symbol, the Tackle Crusader. In this situation that we randomly drew, I forgot we drew Tackle Crusader. So we want to summon Tackle Crusader, not symbol. We're going to normal the symbol here. And the reason why you're going to do it this way is because we want to make a giant hand first. So I'm going to show you. So we're going to pen summon for 4.
Come on out.
Now, zone placement is very important here. You want your level 4s on the end, especially since we have a normal summon. Right now, we have the God combo, because we're going to end on a rank 4, plus Nightmare Skelly setup with a decode. So our end board is going to be Ding in the Graveyard, plus a rank 4, and Decode Talker. Now, something very important to note here is that with this particular setup, like I said, you want to put the level 4s on the end so we can end on a rank 4 on either the left side or the right side. Alright, so that's very important. We do not want to put Giant End in the middle, because if we put Giant End in the middle, we're going to be forced to tribute with Decode, which is not optimal. So that's something you want to focus on. The one other thing to note is that in a situation where you have a weaker hand, Abyss Dweller could be more preferable, because if you were to put something like Dweller in the middle, then you can like activate Dweller first at the start of their turn, and then at that point you can, if they chain Cosmic to Dweller, then you can tribute the Dweller in that case. So anyway, we're going to advance forward in the combo. One other thing I wanted to bring up is that if you have Odd Eyes, right, let's say you're going second, you may choose not to summon Odd Eyes or a monster in the EMZ to play around Book if you think they have a Book of them. The reason why is that they book your EMZ, your turn is basically over at that point, but you can play around Book if you summon onto the main monster zones like 2 Orcust and a monster, because then they have to book one of your Orcust and you can still go into Galatea anyway. Anyway, keeping going on. We're going to make Giant Ant here, as I said, to the left monster zone, to the right monster zone, left or right, either left or right. Now, we're going to normal summon Symbol Skeleton, and we're going to link Nightmare and Odd Eyes off into Galatea.
I know what to do. I link summon a monster.
Then we're going to activate Nightmare, and we are going to go ahead and dump Harpara. Then we are going to activate Harpara, summon another Nightmare out of the deck.
I'm counting on you.
Next, we'll trigger our Galatea. And since we have 2 Nightmares, we can go ahead and shuffle in the Orcust Nightmare to play Babel.
I set a card.
Now, from this spot, there's 2 directions we can go. If we wanted to, and I'm going to teach you something very important here that you want to know when you play this deck. There are some situations to where you want to end when there's Ding on the field, and there are some situations to where you want to end when you have Ding in the graveyard. The advantage to having Ding on the field is that you get the destruction protection almost, you get it immediately, which can be useful in certain different matchups depending what matchup it is. It also costs less cards to do that. In this case, we're going to end on it where Ding is going to be in the grave. But, like, sometimes you want the destruction protection almost instantly when it's on the field. And the reason why you want that is because, let's say you go up against something like Odd Eyes, right? You go up against the Mirror. There's a benefit to having it on the field. And the reason why is their general first play is to summon Timebreaker Magician, right? And activate the effect. You can then tribute Ding on the field with a Skelly attached and get that free advantage of having Ding on the field so you can negate their Timebreaker. Also, it prevents them from using what's the thing? Dragon Pulse to pop. So in that case, it benefits in the mirror having Ding on the field. I feel. In some of the points, the Odd Eyes Orcust mirror. And that's specifically for Odd Eyes Orcust. I know there's a lot to absorb here. Like I said, I can help you out in stream. We're going to play this deck on stream, so if you have any questions, ask. But in the Odd Eyes Orcust mirror specifically, you'd rather have Ding on the field. If it's pure Odd Eyes, you want it in the graveyard because of you want to avoid Trish Zero. So there's a lot to absorb. You might say to me, how do I know if it's the Odd Eyes mirror or not? Generally, they're sitting on 24, 25 cards. It's Orcust. You should expect Odd Eyes Orcust. If they're sitting on 21, 22 cards, then it's generally probably pure Odd Eyes. The closer you get to 20. Okay? So that's generally a good rule of thumb. Anyway, continuing with the combo, we're going to make Ding here soon.
Come on out! I exceed summon a monster.
And we are going to reattach the Harpar.
Activate my monster's effect.
Then we are going to go ahead and make Decode Talker using Symbol, Nightmare, and Dingirsu.
I link summon a monster.
Then we are going to activate Symbol Skeleton, Revive, and attach Galatea.
I'm counting on you. I special
And
summon
at
a monster.
this point, this is our turn 1 setup. We end on a Giant and a Decode Talker and a Galatea. Now, the one other thing I want to point out is that the other advantage to ending on that Ding setup where I told you Ding was on the field is that you're going to have Symbol attached, which is very important. And I'm going to tell you why. Against Speedroid, that's another preferable option. Because if they have, let's say you go up against Speedroid, right? And they have like double Cosmic Cyclone, right? On your Babel. Well, let's say they have double Cosmic, right? Now, this isn't always the case, but if they would have double Cosmic and you have Ding on the field, they Cosmic this, you activate, you detach, right? Or even Cosmic Chalice. Let's say they have Cosmic Chalice as well. And let's say you have Ding over here, right? So they Cosmic your Babel, you chain, you tribute Ding, and you negate. Then they chain another Cosmic. Now you have Skeleton in the graveyard already, and then you can chain Skelly, revive back Ding, attach a material, and then you've beaten 2 techs. If they have Chalice, and they Cosmic this, and you activate Decode, they chain Chalice. Now because you tribute his cost, you can then chain link 3, activate Symbol Skeleton, revive back Ding, in response to them chalicing, and then they burnt their chalice that would use to take out your setup. Then they burnt their chalice, and then they used the chalice that they would stop you from using Ding to protect, that they would negate Ding with to stop you from stopping Kite Drake. So that's a good play against Speedroid as well. So these are different setups that you want there. And the reason why that's better in some situations because it leaves Symbol in the grave. But you're probably going to ask me, but Sean, Symbol's not in the grave here. Why would you end on this and not that? Well, here we could shuffle it back in the deck with Galatea, but the only disadvantage here, we could put it back in the deck with Galatea. The only disadvantage here is we have to use Nightmare Descendant, which means that if they would have like double Cosmic, and if they activate 2 Cosmics, first Cosmic we tribute for cost, then we have to Nightmare send it in a different chain, which means they have an opportunity to get rid of our orchestrated Babel before we can resolve Symbol Skeleton. So that's something you want to know. Now, how do you play this correctly in that case to make that the least likely scenario possible? How will we play that correctly? Well, the way to play it correctly is we're always going to want to chain Nightmare first. They give us an opportunity to start the turn, we go Nightmare first. The reason why is if they Cosmic, then we're always going to get to dump anyway. So they go Cosmic, and then they activate Cosmic on Babel, right? Then we can go ahead and chain Galatea. Well, actually, it wouldn't matter. Never mind. It wouldn't matter in that case. Yeah. So you always, ideally, if you feel like they're going to have double Cosmic, you want to have a setup where you probably leave Ding on the field. So if they have double Cosmic, you want to leave Ding on the field. Almost always. If you feel like they're going to be a deck that's going to run double Cosmic in their deck or whatever, then you kind of want to leave Ding on the field. It could get a little bit dicey at that point. Because even if we activate Nightmare first, then you're still going to be in a situation if they chain Cosmic, then we won't be able to chain Galatea. Because you'll have to chain Decode to tribute Galatea as cost. So that's something that you would want to take note of. Because if we do it the other way, where we activate Galatea first, the problem with that is, and they go Cosmic, then we activate Nightmare and we'd activate Decode, and then they chain a second Cosmic, then we activate Nightmare, we won't be able to send Skelly because this does not shuffle in as a cost, it targets. So yeah. I know there's a lot to absorb. Be patient with me. But that's generally the conceptualization behind it.
I still believe in my cards. I draw.
Alright. Anyway.
Sure you want to do that?
We're going to shuffle in Skelly here. And our end board for turn 1 generally looks like this. And I want you to pay attention. Now in this case, if we had a Dweller on the field, we'd boost the Dweller. But we don't. So we're just going to boost up Galatea. And our graveyard here is Ding. Our setup is Ding Revive, Engrave, Decode Negate, Giant Hand Negate, and Harp Summon under the deck. So really good turn 1.
Here I go. I summon a monster in attack position.
I activate my
now in a case where they set up a weaker field, you want to ding the back row. Always preferable to ding the back row so that way you can follow with Pit and pop your additional back row. And then you can just win the game from there. Also keep in mind, Decode Talker can negate Compulse, it can negate Crackdown, it can negate anything that would target Canadia, stuff like that, Book of Moon. So those are cards, shuts down a good amount of the tech cards that are in Duel Links. So having that, you already have protection against a lot of the back row by having Galatea up. Okay, so that's the first main combo of the deck. I want to get to a Beatrice line and teach you that. I know there's a lot to absorb here, just bear with me, guys. Bear with me. I know there's a lot to absorb here.
Lady. No,
it's Duel. It's all right. I summon. My turn.
My
is done.
turn. I draw.
Okay, this is not a Beatrice hand. I'm gonna let him keep attacking me until we see a Beatrice hand.
I'm counting on you. Here we go.
This is combo, but I don't want to. I want to show you the Beatrice line if we have it.
I draw.
That's combo, but I'm trying to teach you a Beatrice line. Okay, here we go. So this hand may look pure odd eyes to you, but it's not. This is a Beatrice hand, and I'm going to teach you how we're going to do it. The way we're going to do it is you need to open up essentially 2 oaths, or a way to search it, or Wisdom Eye. Could be Wisdom Eye plus oath, or another way to search another oath, like Joker oath, or something like that. Joker plus setup, Dragon Pit oath, Joker, Dragon Pit oath, Wisdom Eye. But we have combo in so many ways. So what we're going to do is we're going to scale up Dragon Pit and Wisdom Eye. We're going to activate Wisdom Eye to scale Oath. And then we're going to activate our skill, immediately putting Oath into the extra. Now what we're going to do is we're going to Pendulum Summon. Actually, we're going to activate Oath first.
I activate a Pendulum effect.
We're going to add back our Wisdom Eye, and then we're going to Pen Summon. Pen Summon Oath here. Do not Pen Summon Odd Eyes. You can't add back Oath with Oath.
I pendulum summon a monster.
So now we pendulum
I
summon
know what
Oath
to
Dragon,
do.
Oath,
I'm counting on you. I
our
know
Wisdom
what to
Eye,
do.
and our coin.
Ka-ching and do your thing,
Now,
coin
we're going to
dragon.
go ahead and make Beatrice into the left monster zone.
Join the cast. I built the overlay network.
Actually, I kind of messed up, but it's fine.
activate
We
my
still do the
monsters
combo anyway.
effect.
I didn't want to pendulum summon 4. I wanted to pendulum summon 3. The reason why is it's kind of like a -1 now, because I have to give him an exceed to do this. But it's not really doesn't really make much of a difference in the combo line we're gonna do. So we're gonna make Giant
I know
Hands.
what to do. I exceed summon a monster.
Then we're going to go ahead and banish Heart,
I activate my monsters
summon
effect.
Nightmare.
I'm
Now, in a
counting on
case
you.
like this, we
I
would
special
pendulum
summon a
summon 3.
monster.
So the correct play wouldn't be making the Giant Hand. We pendulum summon 3, have an extra monster in hand. That way we wouldn't have to make Nightmare in that scenario.
Come on out. I link summon
But it
a
doesn't really
monster.
matter in the whole game state. It's probably not going to come up that you did that.
I
But
activate
just as
my
a note,
monsters effect.
pen for 3, not 4, so you don't have to do that. Next, we're going to dump World Wand. Keep in mind, we still have not
I
normal
activate my
summon.
monsters
We're going to
effect.
summon back the Harpara.
Join
Then
the
we're going to
cast.
activate
I
Galatea,
activate
shuffling
my
in the World Wand
monsters
to play
effect.
Babel.
I'm setting a card. I flip over my set card.
Now, if you had to normal summon
I
Joker in
activate
this
a
case,
field spell. Come
if you had
on
to
out.
have normal summon Joker in
I
this
exceed
case,
summon a monster. I
then
activate my monsters effect.
your board gets a bit weaker, but not much. It's still relatively strong. So what we're going to do now is we're going to
Come
normal
on
summon
out.
Joker.
I activate my monsters effect.
We're going to search a follow-up, probably a time breaker here. Now, we're not going to be able to play around Cosmic as heavily here. We would probably, in this case, well, there is a different line we could have
Come on
taken,
out.
but
I link summon a monster.
I think in this spot, this spot where we had to end on like this kind of a field, you can end on this position and still really good because we have Beatrice on the field, and we still have like Harp Engrave, Nightmare to send, like a symbol out of the deck, and still do what we want to do for the most part. But if we want to play around Cosmic more, there's a different approach we could take. And the approach is, like I said before, we end on Ding on the field. So what we would do instead is, remember how we summoned out Nightmare with, remember how we dumped Wand? We would dump Skelly instead, and we would make Decode Talker, and then revive back Galatea and end on Ding on this, and then still have the symbol attached, which might be a little bit safer in the majority of cases. But either way, both setups are still extremely good. This one's just a little bit more vulnerable to Cosmic than the other ones are, but still a very, very good setup nonetheless. And we could still play around like Chalice and stuff like that. Not in the immediate, but, you know, if they have like Cosmic Chalice in their opening hand, this is a little bit dangerous, but I would probably rather end with Ding on the field in a case like this, but this is still really, really good regardless. So I like making this tournament setup wins a majority of the time. But yeah, in a case like that, it's probably safer in the case to do the other way, where we end with Ding on the field. But yeah, still really good
Here I
setup.
go.
See what you do.
I draw a
I
card.
end my turn.
From my hand, I activate a spell. All right. I summon a monster in attack position.
Now, I activate my monsters of come on out.
My turn is
my
done.
turn. I draw.
In a case like that, we Nightmare dump Skelly, just like normal. We just summoned it in the deck because I'm just trying to kill him fast, but...
Here goes. Go. Direct attack.
Cannot afford to lose.
I activate my monsters effect. Curtains down. I attack you.
Okay. So that is how you play the Autism Orcust. Now I'm going to show you a few replays. And that will be the end of the video once I do that. So that's how you play the deck. Also, I'm gonna be streaming this deck live. I will play it in COG alongside the new Ignite structure deck. If you would like to see that, or one of my cog climbs live, or you'd like me to cog your account, I've pretty much booked this season, but next season I can cog your account. Subscribe to me on Twitch. Not subscribe. Subscribe to me on YouTube, and follow me on Twitch. That's all you have to do. Follow me on Twitch, subscribe to me on YouTube. Okay? Like, comment, subscribe on YouTube, and follow me on Twitch. Okay. So I'm gonna get into some replays here. Enjoy the video. And yeah, here we go.
We came to Rome to shoot to chasing something with a lot.
those are the replays. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please, if you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe on YouTube. Sorry about the loud noise before. Yeah. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe on YouTube. And follow me on Twitch. Link in the description below. Bye, YouTube.